Hey guys, welcome back. This is Tucker from Matt Kite, and today I'm going to talk you through the first of a few videos we're going to be doing. We're going to be walking you through kind of the first stages of learning to kite foil board and really focusing on different transitions in ways that you can kind of end and move the other direction when you're foiling. So today we're going to start out with the most basic, and then we're going to progress more and more to more and more difficulty as we move through these videos. So today we are going to address the heel side to toe side downwind transition, as well as the toe side to heel side downwind transition. These are the most basic transitions you can do. There's no stance change, and they don't require ducking the lines or cutting upwind, anything hard like that. So this is a great way to get out there and foil a lot without having to constantly board start or reset your foil and go through those real learning pains. It's also going to set the groundwork for the rest of our transitions and a lot of skill sets that are really going to become valuable for you as you begin to foil more and more and progress into different kinds of riding styles. So this is going to be the first video of many for transitions, and we're going to learn a lot today, so let's get into it. So if you've watched our videos before, you know to click the eye icon up in the right hand corner of the video. That's going to take you to a written blog, printable steps, as well as links to the rest of the transition videos once those are completed. We're also going to have some recommended gear there, as well as links to other portions of our Foilboarding Knowledge Center. You can really dig in and learn some new stuff. Like I had said, this is my recommendation to newer riders to begin their first transitions, and it's going to do three things. The first, it's going to allow them to stay on foil and ride more rather than having to board start constantly, trying to do stance changes. If you're riding in light wind as well, which a lot of us foilers are, should help save you some time dumping your kite, having to swim it in constantly in those light winds when you can't relaunch. Secondly, doing these heel side to toe side transitions and toe side to heel side transitions really lays the groundwork for a lot of your board skills and the feel of your foil when you're turning and carving back and forth. When you're forced to do a turn at the end of every tack, it really reinforces those skill sets and allows you to learn how the foil reacts when you tip it on edge and lay into a turn. Additionally, it forces you to ride toe side half the time. So when you're riding toe side, you're getting a lot of skills that are really beneficial in other styles of riding and other tricks and necessary maneuvers when you're kite foiling, which is really a necessary skill for most free riders and people that want to ride swell downwind. Also, it's just a nice way to kind of cruise in the other direction without forcing yourself to ride too far upwind, which can be an issue when you're foiling, to get caught upwind, especially in light winds where it's so hard to make your way down. So taking that more mellow approach on your toe side will allow you to kind of stay in that same line of riding without having to think about it too much. Okay, so those are some reasons why you might want to learn your heel side to toe side transitions, toe side to heel side transitions, and get out there and just foil more, board start less, and build some of those skill sets. So let's get into it and get down to the business here. The first thing you're going to do when you're going out for your foil progression of any kind is make sure you got the right equipment for the day. Really pumping up the right kite, having a stable foil and a foil that you can progress on is a great way to start. No one likes getting out there trying to progress when they're either underpowered severely or really overpowered. It's just going to reinforce bad habits and make it a lot harder for you to progress in the future, let alone kind of puts you in a bad position in terms of safety as well as just having a good session period. So make sure you're rigging the right kite, understand which ones you like for each foil. If you have any questions about that, you can always reach out to us. Getting into the actual trick and our second kind of tip for this, you're going to want to lead the motion with your kite. So as you're moving in one direction on your heel side, you're going to initiate the turn or the transition with your kite first, just moments before you're going to initiate the turn with your board. So get that kite moving, and the larger the kite, the longer you're going to have to wait for it to come around. But as that kite starts to turn, you want to mirror that motion by angling your board slightly downwind and going with the tension of the lines. Don't fight the tension, don't do it preemptively where you're going to slack your lines, but rather just go along with it as if it's pulling you around a corner, and that's going to allow you to really get through the transition smoothly, keep power, and not Hindenburg your kite. Conversely, on the toe side, same idea, only you're going to be leaning a little bit downwind on your heels rather than your toes. But again, initiate that turn with your kite, follow moments later using the board, and that's going to allow for a smooth transition without real heavy power spikes and allow you to deal with that surge of power as you accelerate and transition through the turn. So for more powered situations, or if you just feel more comfortable from a basic level, your kite movement should be from that kind of 10 to 2 position or 2 to 10 position going the other direction. If you're feeling underpowered, or say you have a faster foil that maybe requires more power to stay on foil, you can pull a down loop, which is going to allow the kite to move through a more powerful section of the window and really drag you with more acceleration through the turn. If you're having an issue with slacking your lines, or it's just real punchy wind, that's another great time to do it. But when you do a down loop, you're going to want to make sure you carve a larger arc, really head downwind, straight downwind as that kite comes about through the power zone, because you are going to accelerate quite a bit, being that the kite is really, going to pull you with more force. So aim that board downwind as the kite comes across, ride out that spike of acceleration first. That's going to allow you to deal with that power without gaining a lot of extra power due to that apparent wind that you're going to be creating with your board. So after you ride it downwind, you hit that power spike, begin to carve back towards the direction you want to head on your toe side. Remember, keep weight on that front foot, because as you accelerate, more lift is going to be generated, and it's really easy when you're riding toe side to put too much weight on your back foot. So remember, stay centered, put that pressure on your front foot as you accelerate, and that way you won't Charlie Brown out the second you accelerate and you have too much weight on your back foot. One thing that you're going to want to do as you do that is be careful not to bring the kite up too high, because that can be difficult to get your weight back downwind when you're riding toe side if you do that too soon. So again, bring that kite across, mirror that by carving across, and a lot of people find even that riding from toe side, transitioning to heel side, is even easier because you're finishing kind of in a more natural position. Once you've got that down, you can always switch stances. Start out with your right foot forward and then try to do the same thing to toe side and heel side, just to build those unnatural riding kind of skills and maybe a riding position you're not as comfortable with. That'll help build those skills riding unnaturally on the foil, and it can be a difficult one to get used to if you're not used to riding unnaturally with your other foot forward, if you're a surfer a lot, or say just haven't been kiteboarding that often on a twin tip. Once you have that dialed, play with your rails a little bit. You can really feel out the turns of your foil and learn a lot about it. Little carves downwind, fading downwind, and carving harder upwind, maybe even pumping just a little bit to get the feel of that is going to help further those skills, get you even more comfortable and ready to free ride downwind waves, and build those skills that are going to be so important as we transition into these next foil transitions. So we're going to be working on some jibes with foot changes, some tacks with foot changes, some upwind duck tacks to toe side, and toe side to heel side duck tacks, as well as some fun tricks like carving 360s and some other stuff we've got planned. So be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can be notified when those videos do drop here in the near future. Our current schedule says we're going to be dropping stuff about every 2 weeks or so, but maybe a little sooner than that. Who knows if these kind of take off. So if you like this video, be sure to share it with a friend. Give us a good old thumbs up. Hit the bell icon if you want to be notified when we're dropping all these other foil transition videos and trick tips. And as always, subscribe to our channel because we'd love to know who's watching. This has been Tucker with Matt Kite. We'll see you next time for our next video, which will be a jibe with a stance change. We'll see you then.